Then you got Iron Man and Iron Man 2. And then you have this, the Sherlock Holmes, which I loved. I just saw it for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw it on DVD.
Yeah, and I thought it was a brilliant performance. Is it going to your head? Are you in danger of, like...
Spinning out of control again?
Let me wake up the missus.
Yeah. Now, things are going well in the marriage?
Oh, yeah, we are in Napa Valley right now.
Right.
Where are you staying?
5:40 a.m. and we're hanging out here. We kind of got a romantic getaway this weekend.
Look at you. She's got to be totally in love. I mean, so what happens with Iron Man 2? Do you get, now it's made a couple $100 million already. Do you get a piece of the action?
I guess so. It's like a payout over time. You know, it's not like someone comes to me with a publisher's clearinghouse check or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just thinking what you're worth now, and also I'm wondering what your life is like, not only financially, but also what is your life like in terms of the scripts you're getting. Ivan Reitman once described to me that when you have a film that makes over $100 million, you get your choice of any film in Hollywood that you want to make.
Right. Like, do you now decide to call somebody and say, I want that, or do you wait for the scripts?
Yeah, how does it all work? Take me through that.
Well, I'm calling the shots now.
You are calling the shots, right? I mean, you're getting offered every script, aren't you?
You know what? I mean, between this and Sherlock and all that other stuff, and other things, and now Susan and I are kind of starting to do our own thing a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing, and you know this too, is like more important than anything else is can you have the influence and the freedom that you require to be happy. Because all the success in the world, when someone still, kind of has you on a choke chain and says, do this, can't do that, and is always grilling you and squeezing you, it's better to not show up at work at all.
So you and Susan now will produce your own movies.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of directing?
I would like to.
Now, what about Guy Ritchie? Is he going to go make another Sherlock Holmes with you?
Yeah, he's directing that. We're doing that this fall.
Oh, wow, you're busy.
Excellent.
Look at this life, huh?
Yeah.
So there's going to be another Sherlock Holmes, probably another Iron Man, right?
He said Iron Man 3 and the Avengers.
And then who the hell knows what you'll do? You know what I was thinking about with you?
You got to take a departure and go do some art film.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking with you?
Boring.
You know what I remember? When you were on Saturday Night Live, people forget that you were on there for a season.
Yeah. You
got fired from Saturday Night Live. And Lorne Michaels...
Actually, I didn't get fired, but let's pretend I did.
So you didn't get fired?
No.
What? You left?
Yeah, I left because I was on with Anthony Michael Hall, and he didn't go back for a second season, so I didn't feel that I should go back because he'd kind of gotten me the audition in the first place.
It's kind of weird, though, that you were doing... Like, that was... I don't want to say it was beneath you, but you were too good to be doing that, in a sense.
I am not too good to be doing anything. As a matter of fact, I think I was really lucky. I just feel bad for them because we were really misbehaving, so to speak.
Yeah, that's right. You were bad in that sense.
Yeah, it didn't feel bad. It just was a lot of trouble for them.
So are you keeping your life together now with a ton of therapy? Because somewhere I read that you're in marriage therapy, just to keep that, making sure that doesn't go wrong. And then you said you have the world's greatest psychiatrist. So how many days a week are you in therapy? And
how do you do that when you're an actor and you're on location? And how do you keep that going?
Yeah, how many days a week are you going to therapy?
Well, to tell you the truth,
can't be more than me.
This might wake her up right now. I'm pretty psychologically well at this point.
You're kidding me.
Uh-oh.
Shuffling.
Uh-oh.
I have big trouble.
I have 2 standing appointments.
So
but the guy's not just a shrink. He's literally like it's hard to explain.
What makes the world's greatest psychiatrist?
Well, I don't want to blow his cover, but he has many, many, many skills and is knowledgeable in such a variety of areas. He's very dynamic.
A psychoanalyst?
Psychologist, really.
Psychologist.
But it's very limiting to even call him that. Anyway, the funny thing is, I've known the guy since the 80s, since before he ever thought he wanted to be a shrink, and we used to travel together and do like martial arts and go on location and do all these weird, far out, kind of like counterbalancing from my my old proclivity stuff.
So are you saying that you don't have to go to the psychiatrist once or twice or 3 times a week anymore?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if and when I don't, Susan might be like, this is crazy. Call John right now.
Because you're getting a little weird.
Yeah, but the other thing, too, is we have therapeutic tools that we use.
What are you using?
They're very private and effective.
How's the sex life?
It's the greatest. Thank you for asking.
You're banging how many times a week? Be honest with me. How long? You've been married longer than I have.
Really?
Yeah, he got married. I saw him when I was still dating Beth. When I ran into him in a restaurant.
We thought that was a very good omen for us, by the way, running into you and Beth that weekend.
Really? No one's ever thought of me as a good omen. It's odd. I think you need a psychiatrist.
Susan says we felt like pygmies next to you.
Yeah, we're tall.
Yeah.
So Susan and you were having sex how many times a week?
Let me see.
Is that if we're shooting him?
Who's that, Susan?
She woke up.
Oh, that's Susan.
Yeah.
Ask Susan how many times a week she's having sex.
I'm over here right now.
Get over there.
If you could see her right now.
Oh, she must be. What, is she naked?
How many times? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Susan, are you naked right now?
No.
You're very
We're 5 years in. We're not.
How many times a week is Robert giving you sex?
Unless she has a layer on, or even if it's a scanty layer.
How many times a week are you having sex? Be honest with me. Don't lie.
Okay. If we're just in a mode where we can be practicing and digging it, or we're on vacation.
Yeah.
Every
2
day,
or 3. 2 or 3.
When we're working, sometimes it will become.
Go 2 or 3.
It'll right. But the other thing too is sometimes we're so stressed out that unless we.
That's true.
Unless we jump in the sack, we're going to go bats.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if we're getting really grating on each other's nerves, well, you know what you have to do.
You have to bang. Susan, do you want more sex?
Sometimes I do. But we're really intimate regardless of whether it actually goes to that place.
Yeah.
So it's never like, I don't know. Sometimes I get anxious, and yeah, I do. But I don't know, we're so intimate all the time.
I'm also 45, and I've been through a lot, so the truth be told is I'm more like the girl in the relationship.
You're hard to get going.
Well, it's more just like, or sometimes I'll say to fend her off, I'll be like, you are terrifying me with all this sexual energy. Give me a moment.
Robert, are you...
Huge?
Are you huge? Yeah, that's a good question. Are you, Susan? Is it hard for him to fit inside of you?
Oh,
is that what you're saying? So, Robert, you're saying
struggled in that area.
Most times Susan has to initiate sex.
That's not true.
No, it's pretty usual.
I'm just saying that I'm like I'm very. How would you describe it?
I think you're afraid that it might not work out.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
Susan. When you see Robert in Iron Man with, let's say, a Gwyneth Paltrow or that other broad, Scarlett Johansson, and be honest, is there jealousy in the sense that,
are you right there?
Yeah, are you on the set watching him? Because I would imagine, I remember Beth did a little scene on a sitcom with a guy making out with him, and it just made me fucking crazy. Honestly.
Really? No,
yeah.
I'm very, if I'm working on the movie, like if I'm a producer on the movie. If not, I'm not sitting there. But it's very odd. It does not bother me in the slightest. But I've also been doing this for 15 years. And
but this is your husband.
Yeah, it's my husband, but...
And he is very desirable.
She doesn't think of me that way.
But, yeah.
That's desirable.
Isn't that funny?
It does not bother me whatsoever. And it's part of the job. And as you know, I mean, you've probably seen it on set. Like, I don't know, maybe your experience with Beth was different, but there's nothing emotional.
I don't know. I mean, did she seem like she was pining for the guy?
No, she was in L.A., and she would call me and say, I can't wait to come home to you and all. Well, she said all the right things. But
yeah, she's supposed to say that.
Yeah,
well, Gwyneth would usually walk off set and be like, oh, it's like kissing my brother.
Oh, yeah, but that's the first sign that she's into him.
Exactly, all that. But see, also, her fellow Chris Martin was there.
Well, was
and I looked over off camera, and Susan sticks her tongue down Chris's throat. And this is weird. They're not even shooting that.
So what do you say? Hey, Robert, are you saying you sometimes have erectile difficulty?
No, I'm saying that I am a delicate flower emotionally because I'm a sensitive artist.
Right.
Or rather, if I'm feeling moody or if I haven't had my coffee, it's like shooting a scene. I can be like, hold on 1 second, I'm not ready. By the way, I used to have a waxy blue boner 29 hours a day.
Right.
But like I said, I've been through a lot, and I'm 45.
But you don't need Viagra, do you?
I'm not... What?
You don't use Cialis or Viagra? Yeah.
No.
Please.
All right. And so when you guys go to the marriage therapist, I assume you go, what, once a week?
It's not that frequent. He has like you said, he has the 2 standing appointments.
Right.
And occasionally I will join him. So it's not specific.
By the way, this is fucking hilarious to me because sometimes I think she's the one who should be on the phone with him, and I should be, watching the History Channel or Military Channel, as I prefer to in the other room.
But what is it that the problem? Like, why are there times? Does Robert get? What does he become a moody artist or something? Is he what does he do to get you upset?
Exactly.
Oh,
what do I do?
Well, first of all, we go not because there's crisis. We actually go just every other time just to sort of check in and talk about stuff because there's a lot of shit goes on in our lives.
What kind of shit goes on?
It helps us keep current with someone to kind of hear it out. So.
But be specific. What is the shit? Is it because?
Issues,
But what is the big issue?
You and Robin have made it this far.
Well, seriously though, what is the big issue? I mean, give me some of the. I mean, okay, Robert has a child from another marriage. That can be an issue, right?
Yeah, there's like parenting styles. There's big decisions we have to make. There's something that happened where I need to work on some of my character defects.
You have character defects?
Artist. Going back to that question, but we're branching into working we've been working creatively together since we met because we met on a movie. We did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang together. Then we did Sherlock together. And
is it the kiss of death though for a couple to work that closely together? Can it become too much?
Maybe that's why they need all of that therapy.
Right, maybe.
Exactly, Robin. That's what we do pretty well because what our positions are obviously so different, and I don't know that there's been couples in the past where one's a producer, one's an actor. There's,
that's the thing too. Is oftentimes, couples are, particularly if they're in the industry, and then, she's on location and he's in town, and next thing you know, how surprising, there's infidelities and stuff. So we really, really like working together. She's also a really, really good producer, and as you know, having a great director on a production where the production can't hit its ass with both hands is really of no benefit. Then you have a good movie that doesn't finish on time, doesn't make sense, the story doesn't cut together, and it generally is just very inefficient and chaotic. So we like a little bit of chaos, but we like someone who's really got our back, a creative producer, so to speak. And then there's no reason to not just spend all of our time together.
You're absolutely right, because I believe, like I even look at this Sandra Bullock thing. She's away making films for 4 months. He's not with her. It's got to fall apart. I couldn't be apart from my partner for 4 months.
Well, if you're very immature,
I'm immature. Who isn't immature?
I
agree. I think it's impossible. I don't care how well-intended you are. You start living separate lives, and then you're like, they're not calling when they said they would, and suddenly you're like really even-headed, and then all of a sudden you're like, why didn't you call at 5? What were you doing? What was more important?
Here's the thing, too. I can become mildly sociopathic, so we have a 2-week rule where we would never go more than 2 weeks, and we don't even do that very often, without seeing each other, because I start turning into the kind of, like, pissed off, you're a bad mommy and you left me alone.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Shopping cart mentality, where she's like from one day to the next, and she can always tell me when it happened. It'll be like, she goes, oh, it happened. I'm like, what? She goes, oh, you're just acting like we're not a couple anymore. Because I start acting independently, like,
Right, because that's your defense mechanism. That's how you get through it. You say, I don't need her. She's not so great. And I'll
say that every day, and it becomes a little sillier every time I say it.
Well, and then I just schedule myself up a storm if we're apart, and then he takes offense to the fact that, oh, I'm gone. You seem to have a heck of a lot going on. You don't.
I get like that too.
What are you doing taking care of yourself in my absence?
Right. You shouldn't be having any fun without me.
Yeah. Exactly, and mine's just a defense mechanism too, to keep myself occupied.
You all sound like a delight to be with.
Oh, I'm a mess. These two sound as messy as I am.
Oh my God!
I understand this. Now, what's going on in terms of your celebrity friends? There must be some fabulous parties going on with you two, right?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, we had the most fabulous party recently.
Okay,
Really?
who's at these fabulous parties that you guys throw, and why am I never there?
Well, first of all, you don't live in L.A.
Right, but I think most of the people there would have issues with me. I don't think you could invite me to the party.
Who was there?
Although there's a big party for me this weekend in L.A. at Jimmy Kimmel's house. He's making a dinner for me.
Is that true?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it a celebration of something specific, or just you being here?
Beth is out there doing Jimmy's show, promoting her book. And
Oh,
then
my gosh.
Jimmy's making a dinner for us.
That's very nice.
And
That cool.
it's going to be considered the A-list party.
It is the party to be
Yeah.
at.
Well, you know what? Like, I and like myself and my assistant Christine Mamelito, who's so much more excited about me being on the show right now than she is about any of my movies. Like, there's a lot of people who listen to you guys. And then there's probably people who say that they have to be PC and say they don't think, some of your views or your, this or that or whatever, but probably still listen to you. So I bet there's some
They probably do
some
like me.
secret Santa fans.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, if you want to have dinner with me, I'll ditch Jimmy in a second. You're
But
way
they're in
more.
Napa.
Oh, they're in Napa. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. All right, I'll stick with
No,
Jimmy
we're
then.
coming back.
Oh, you're coming back?
Ah, well, that's the
Then
thing.
ditch Jimmy.
Quick, I'll ditch Jimmy. So who was at the party you just had? You just threw a party. Who was there?
Everybody.
Well, who is it?
No.
Would you invite Mickey Rourke, or are you afraid of him?
Pardon me?
Would you invite Mickey Rourke to a party of yours, or are you afraid of him?
If he was in town, of course I'd invite
I think
him.
he technically might have been invited.
But but Robert, even as crazy as you got, he got 10 times crazier than you.
Oh, I don't.
You don't know who's crazier.
I know that Mickey's a sweet guy, and
Right.
and he's a serious actor. I think the funny thing is if I only read the sound bites of the 10 most outrageous things anybody had ever done, then
Right.
that would be my context for. But I keep running into people like.
But who's at your party? I want to know.
I don't want to.
Who are your
I'm not
close
scared
friends?
to have a party and then drop names for my own people, but I've already made it common
Drop a
knowledge
few names.
that Jamie Foxx kind of was took the mic and started kind of.
Jamie's got a major problem with me. I think we're in a feud.
I know, I
think
read
he's
that
feuding by
online.
himself.
I think he's feuding with me.
If he has a problem with you, it's probably your fault.
Could be. You never know. So besides Jamie Foxx, who do you hang out with? Who's there? Like Nicholson?
Not really. No, though I do occasionally when somebody cancels and there's an extra floor seat for a Lakers game, I'll get invited and I'll see him across the way. So my contact with Nicholson is sometimes he'll look over at me and nod his head or something, which is enough for me.
I would think it's a big deal to get invited to the Downeys for the party. I would think that's a very, very big deal in Hollywood. Everyone
At
goes,
this point, sure.
absolutely. Hey,
Yeah.
would you
Well,
clear up?
in 18 months, it could be the kiss of death. Who knows? We got to keep putting out hits here.
Yeah, right. And who was there? The Pitts Jolies?
No, they were off in Venice.
The
Yeah.
Jolie Pitt.
They were invited, though, right?
I think we put an invitation out to them.
No kidding.
Ooh.
But they're off doing their thing. You know how it goes. You do movies with people, you get to know people, and some stick, some don't, and
Boy, that must have
and
been-
then it's who's in town. Like we love Jude. Jude wasn't in town. Guy wasn't in town. So
Who was in town? The Mel Gibsons? Who was around?
Absolutely.
yeah,
He was at the party?
Yeah.
Who else?
Well, who does he bring? I mean, a good Lord
Yeah,
knows
he's-
what's going on in
Yeah,
his
who
life.
does he bring to the party?
Well, I mean, he's got friends. He's actually smart enough to be able to have his social life out of the public eye.
Uh-huh.
Not really.
He's a welcome attendant. And Sam Jackson and Favreau,
Right.
basically whoever it feels kind of like a family. Because I know what happened too is sometimes we go to people's birthday parties and it seems like they just got out their quote unquote Rolodex
Yeah.
Right.
and tried to fame it up. And our thing was we're really going more for a feeling, but because we worked with so many of these people over the years, and then a lot of the classy folks are Susan's friends, and then a lot of the people that I might have invited 5 years ago, I have been forbidden, and happily so, to have any further contact with. So that classes the joint up right
Right. Yeah, there's a whole list of those types. Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
speaking of people you shouldn't associate with, but Scott Weiland was in on the show, and this was years ago. I've always meant to ask you about this. He claims when Scott Weiland went to prison
Yes.
that he took a shower with you And he said,
well, I don't want to say that he took a shower with me. I want to say I was buck naked, and next thing I knew, I looked over, and there he was. And I guess the sheriffs thought that because he was a ne'er-do-well rock star and I was a ne'er-do-well actor, that we'd probably want to be seeing each other and hanging out.
They'd probably want to shower together.
Get in there.
He claimed that not only is his penis large, but that your penis is just as big. That's what he told me. What do you make of that? And is it true that your penis is that big?
No, I'm average.
Yes.
Unless of course I'm feeling self-conscious, and then it can look just like a little acorn.
One of your quotes once was that you were a chronic masturbator. Are you still a masturbator, or have you stopped that?
That was all over before I was 12.
Bull. You're telling me you didn't masturbate as an adult?
Well, sure, but when you say chronic, it sounds like eczema.
You said I was a compulsive serial masturbator, but the funny thing is, looking back on it, it was the best thing I could have ever been. I utilized that organ and wrote it for everything it was worth. I couldn't leave that little root alone.
Sometimes when you're doing a press or doing interviews, you know this, you're just basically entertaining yourself.
So have you given up masturbation since marriage?
Well, first of all, it can be troublesome.
Yes.
It can be troublesome because I sometimes feel if I'm not saving my diamond seeds,
see, that's how I feel.
I'm not actually putting my best foot forward to our love life.
You want to know something? I've recently come to that conclusion as well.
Well, you're very silly because when Tom Chiasano used to tell us this.
No, but I do masturbate, and in fact, my psychiatrist even said to me, "Why?" I get very offended when Beth doesn't have sex with me. And he said, why can't you take matters, not making a pun, but why can't you take matters into your own hand, jerk off, and take care of yourself? Why are you such a little boy? Why do you need your wife every minute? I said, maybe he's right. So I jerked off the other night. I did. I'll be honest with you.
How long does it take when you're... can you masturbate efficiently?
A second. Listen, when I was a little boy, I learned to masturbate like a jackrabbit real quick. And so my mother wouldn't do it.
Out of fear that you get popped.
Of course. So I do it, sure, once in a while. Absolutely. Well,
I think you and I should do a fundraiser. We should find some really kind of limousine, liberal, politically correct fund. And, we could do a YouTube video of you and I doing masturbation races.
As a matter of fact, I'd love to race you. I bet you I could come faster than you.
I did.
He's out of practice. He's going to have to practice.
It's funny how it's like bicycle riding. It comes right back to you. So anyway, so did you have a good time when you were on the show the last time? Because there's been speculation
that you didn't enjoy
yourself, Robert.
Oh, Howard. Well, first of all, things are so different now,
right?
Than they were back then.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there'd be times when it's like, hey, we're going to New York. We're going to do Howard Stern. I was like, oh, it's so early, and then we got this other thing to do. But I'm trying to remember, what were we promoting back then?
I don't even
remember. Was it Kiss Kiss or was
it either Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or Zodiac? All I know is we were so stuck on my jailhouse experience that we never even mentioned the title of the movie I was there promoting.
Maybe that
was
I felt
a little bit, and I don't think it was done consciously, but I left there feeling just maybe a little bit burned. But that wasn't really even the reason, because there's people who, if I feel like something happened that I don't appreciate, why would I still be listening to your show?
Right. All right, good. I just wanted to make sure we were on solid ground.
No, I heard, too, that there was some speculation about it, and I loved everybody trying to act like they knew the reason. That was funny.
Yeah, everyone thought, and then Gary had a theory that you thought the staff was weird.
Well, staff is weird.
You're used to weird people. No, it has nothing to do with that.
I don't want to say Gary was wrong.
What is it, Gary?
I seem to remember that Robert came in with Susan, and that something had bothered him before he got to the green room, but involving our staff. But I can't remember exactly what it was.
I don't know. Oh yeah, someone. Yeah. But you thought that someone didn't know
who Susan was
or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Who knows?
No, by the way, she's very confident. Even back before she was more recognized or more established, it never ever bothered her if it was like, "Hey, this is my old lady."
Right.
Step it up.
Wait, who?
Like someone's daughter's visiting or something, so I don't care.
Who are your guys' best friends? Like Hollywood types? Like, is it Courtney Cox and David Arquette? Who are your best friends?
I got to tell you, I Courtney has a gym set up in Malibu, and I use that sometimes. And I was going over there couple weeks ago, and I was listening to your show on the way over, and David was doing his intern day.
Yeah.
And I arrived, and I saw Courtney, and I said, I've been listening to David on Howard. She goes, oh, I get so nervous when he goes on there.
By the way, he was fabulous.
He was amazing.
I only caught a little chunk of it at the time, but
hey, you go over.
Why don't you step back from the situation? Yeah. We have very skilled publicists who keep us away from discussing the 2 or 3 topics that we have been primarily enjoying with you for the last 10 years.
True.
The nice thing is this time we're actually also, even though it doesn't need promotion at this point, talking about our work and our lives and our film, too.
Right, yeah, Iron Man 2.
We loved both films, the first and the second one, so it's easy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just fantasizing about Susan and Courtney exercising together in the private gym.
Now you're seeing it like a Dancing with the Stars moment.
You would do well, too. They are specimens.
What do you guys wear, Susan, when you're in the gym?
Well, we don't actually exercise together. We just use the same...
God damn it, don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what kind of story is that?
I go first, and then she comes in afterwards. So
that's kind of weird. Like, what do you mean?
Like little exercise pants, and I'm a big fan of either a tank top or a muscle shirt. But
what do you wear for underneath? Like, you wear a tank top with what? Short shorts?
Like the like spandex, like
she looks,
like little dancer pants.
She looks like
not short shorts.
She looks like a trainer. If you were to go
really
for workouts, you wouldn't know which one was the trainer.
Do you ever oil each other?
There's certain salves and shea butters. And
Susan, would you
more gristly?
Susan, would you ever get wild one night and like get it on with another girl in front of Robert?
Oh, it's a great idea.
Robert, would you like that?
No hostages in this relationship.
I sometimes say that we should take a hostage, but I don't even mean it when I say it because I just, truth be told, is we are so fortunate that we're really well matched.
Yeah.
And trust me.
Susan, do you ever think of women?
In that way, no.
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 Too bad. What does Courtney wear when she comes into workout?
Similar. She's got the old, little spandexy pants on. And
I like that I was about to extol the virtues of monogamy, and you quickly...
I got bored.
What does Courtney wear?
Hey, never mind that. What is Courtney wearing? I don't know. Well, hey, Susan, here's the theoretical question, then I'll let you guys go.
Okay.
If you had to do a 3-way, what celebrity girl that you know would you call into the bedroom?
Excellent question.
For you and Robert. Go ahead.
I have no idea.
Well, because this will be the soundbite in the Post tomorrow. We got to think about this really carefully.
This is to save the world. In other words,
how about if you ditch Kimmel? I'll tell you.
Come on, tell me.
That one's going to have to go on with a live operator.
Hey,
I have no idea.
Yeah, you'd be. She didn't think like that. Isn't that weird?
Sometimes you have to save the world. See Robert Downey.
Iron Man.
See Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man 2 in theaters now. I think it's up to I read some astronomical figure in terms of box office.
Okay.
Do they start sending you gifts and everything from the studio when this happens?
Well, they certainly did last time, and we'll see.
And when we say gifts, do we mean like a car?
What did they do? Yeah.
Yeah, they got me a really nice car.
Did they?
Yeah.
What'd they give you?
They got me a Bentley.
Wow. Do you still have it?
Yeah, Susan drives it. I think we have to convert it to like biodiesel or something. It's embarrassing.
Oh my God! Yeah, right. But my God, that Hollywood lifestyle is something.
Oh, it's amazing.
I think Mel's going to send me a car this week. I bet. I'm talking about Mel Karmazin.
You've only what?
Yeah.
Worked with him how many years?
Yeah, come on. I'm waiting for that. Oh, listen. See Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man 2 in theaters now. Did you care that Don Cheadle was replacing that other guy? You didn't care, right? That doesn't bother you.
I think that it was a weird kind of... I don't quite know how and why it happened, but I know that Don did a great job and people are loving him in it. And I know that Terrence Howard is a super talented guy.
What happened to Terrence Howard?
You don't know what happened there?
No.
I really honestly don't understand how and why it went down. But it was, it's an uncomfortable thing because it's like part of the reason you do the first one is for the promise of the payoff in the second.
Right.
And I think that
maybe they don't.
What did he do?
I bet you he didn't want I bet you he didn't like the money he was getting. It's got to be money.
Who does?
It's a money issue. It's like, oh, how come Downey Jr. is getting all the money?
I honestly don't think it was Terrence's fault. But the trippy thing I've noticed over time is sometimes these dramas happen, and it really is more about everyone's own development than it is about some crappy backstabbing business deal or something. But
right.
Studios have their inefficiencies, and people and agents have their inefficiencies. It's amazing to me that any film ever gets finished from A to Z.
It is. It's a difficult process.
Yeah.
Well, you sound good, you two. You sound happy.
Who knew?
I saw a picture in some magazine the other day with you with your arm around your son. You look really content, man.
Thanks, Howard.
Susan's super hot.
I mean, he's like a miracle, isn't he?
You are a miracle, I was one of those people who counted you out.
Thank you.
I was betting the other way.
Oh, my goodness.
Man.
But I am very happy for you two, and I'm certainly happy for you, Robert. Your career is amazing, and your acting is amazing, and you're a real gem. And,
have a safe trip out to LA. How long are you going to be out here?
We're here till Sunday. I'm here to support Beth's book tour.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
You
know what? That's what you're supposed to do.
She's on the New York Times bestseller list this week. She hit it number 5.
You're going to be sleeping with an author.
I'm sleeping with an author this week.
A best-selling author.
You two kids should pop over to Jimmy's for this celebrity-filled bash. I mean, even Rick Rubin is coming.
Yeah, we didn't get our invitation to that one.
I'll have Jimmy set it up. I've already invited about 700 people to Jimmy's house.
Jimmy might be pissed because I'm doing Craig Ferguson today.
I think Jimmy can handle it.
Yeah, I think so, too. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He gets it. And are you guys going to have kids of your own, or you're not even into that whole thing?
We're totally into it. It's just a matter of when.
I say we don't ruin Susan's body.
I know that there is that issue, but I can't express what a animal she is. So
do you use birth control?
Moms, it's actually hotter after she has a kid.
You're ready to go through that again, huh?
It doesn't matter what I think I'm ready for or not. If it's what we're supposed to do, it's what's going to happen.
So you're not using any contraception?
It's a long story, but let's just say that I do have some extraordinary control over.
You're pulling out.
My seed spreaders.
You're not coming inside of Susan, but you're pulling out. You're not using a rubber, but you're pulling out.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Otherwise, we'd be announcing, which I'm sure might be the next thing we do, if you like. We'll announce our pregnancy on your show, and then
I would love that. In fact,
Mom
you know, it'd be fun if you two kids made love right now and left us.
Conceive on this show.
Let us listen in to the actual conception. I think you could get into it from an acting viewpoint. That would be very exciting. Where do you finish? Where does Robert Downey Jr. finish on his wife? I'm curious. Susan, where does he come? Is he on the chest or the back?
You gotta. Is Rosie listening to this? You think?
Yes, Rosie is online.
No, but I'm sure Chris is mortified. Our assistant's like, I don't want to think about it like
Chris,
that.
you glad we did this? First of all, the evidence of my virility. It might start one place and end up somewhere else.
Wow, on the wall. Well, you two.
Sometimes I'll just, turn over a bowler hat or something.
You two kids sound like you're having a blast. And I'm happy for the both of you. I really, really am. It sounds like you found true love and you found contentment and peace.
Yeah.
As I said to my friend Ron Zimmerman, who is now hooking up with Cher, it sounds like you're peaceful. And he said, I am. I'm at peace. I'm in love with Cher. Can you believe this?
I really can't believe
That's right. He's even at peace. And you
it's going to take me a while to process that.
Yeah. And you two sound like you're at peace. Am I correct?
Definitely.
Things are nice.
Yeah.
Things are nice.
Yeah, I'm happy for you too. See Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man 2 in theaters now. I also recommend on DVD Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
It's really good. And you've gotten some kind of shape for that movie. What are you doing? You taking steroids?
No, I don't think that would be... I think it would be counterproductive to my general recovery.
Right. And what do you do, though? I mean, do you have to stay in the gym 6 hours a day to get in that shape?
For the first Iron Man, I really put on size, and I lost it for Sherlock 2, and then I tried to put it back on. I just barely made it back to my original weight. And now, if you could see me having just been to French Laundry last night with the missus, I look a bit like a bloated ferret.
You lost it, huh?
I don't want to say I lost it. I tend to look pretty good. But she and I like to stay in shape too, you know. And
I don't know how
you and Beth are always running and doing stuff. And
yeah, but I look like I got cellulite upon cellulite on my ass, and I don't know how you guys do it. You don't run, do you? You probably just pump up these weights and eat a.
I do martial arts, and I do yoga, and I do strength training, and I'm not above running. It's just it's not fair or fun to do it with her.
Really?
Yeah, because she just smokes me, and it's like I go, why did we even leave the house at the same time?
Why can't Susan? Why can't you slow down and run with Robert?
I would have to walk quickly to run with Robert.
That's a fun thing.
Wow.
I'm serious. I do. Sometimes I do. It's hard. And I don't feel like I got anything out of it at the end.
Right.
You know.
So there's no togetherness there.
She should step onto the mat at the Wing Chun Academy and see how long she lasts.
You two are having fun. What can I say? I like